our first 2 years under the current owner have not been our best financial years, just in light of the current climate. What actually that enabled us to do was to, under the previous owner, we were about like 70% contract and 30% retail. We were able to completely flip that upside down and shift to more retail. We were able to spend some time, actually a significant amount of time, focusing on the, I think what you want to talk about, which was our actual cost of doing business. What did it cost us to be able to, how much did it cost to print a shirt? How much does it cost from start to finish to print a shirt? And we spent, I think we're probably still kind of figuring it out, but we spent probably a solid 6 months of just studying our numbers. And they were, of course, the numbers were much more manageable because every event across the country had been canceled. So we were able to chip away at that pretty easily with, just smaller amounts of orders. So they were manageable. It was manageable information. We were able to take that information and translate that to what our actual costs were. So we've spent the last 2 years under the new owner really developing a very manageable approach to profitable screen printing.
How'd you make that switch from 70-30 to 30-70? Because we've had some folks on the pod that have said that too, but like, what was the tactical things that you did? Was it literally just saying no to the contract customers, or just referring them off, or
like, is it doing less work but more of the work you like to do, or is it a real replacement of revenue?
For us, it was, a lot of it actually came from seeing what the numbers looked like and how much we were charging for things, and realizing that we couldn't continue to operate in that capacity. I think retail, the 30% of retail that we did previously actually supplemented the cost of doing contract. Like we were actually doing contract screen printing at a loss.
So
not in every instance.
Can we dive into that? Just because your presses are spinning does not mean you're making money. So you can actually lose money by printing really bad. Can you dig in? Because this is like, but wait, there's profit in the job. Talk to us about that, because there's a lot of wisdom there that I think a lot of people they don't realize that like their profitable parts of their businesses are funding their least profitable parts of their business. But like, how did you come to that how did you calculate that? How did you come to that conclusion? That retail was paying for you to keep your presses spinning for a contract.
I think there are a lot of monsters in this industry, especially on the contract side of printing. There's a lot of people out there that have been in the industry for a long time, and they know screen printers are typically pretty creative people, and I think they're really smart in a lot of ways, but they're not smart in business ways. And I bet if you polled like half of Printavo's customers and said, why did you get into screen printing? Most of them would say they got into it because they wanted to do something creative that they could make money at, right? And so when you dangle this like imaginary money in front of a hungry screen printer and say, we'll pay you this much money, we'll give you, we were approached by one of the larger contract outfits, one of the larger outsourcing outfits years ago, with a price list and a promise of, what we'll send you $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of business a month if you can handle that. But by the time you're done, like hang tagging and heat sealing labels in all of their shirts, you're working for like less than minimum wage when you divvy that work out amongst the people on your team. But they're preying upon these people that need work. They have presses that could do more than they're currently doing. And so they send you this promise of large amounts of money, but that large amount of money doesn't cover the cost of doing what they're asking you to do. So when we started breaking down what we were doing for some of these printers and what it actually cost us to do it, we have printers that were sending us jobs that required a press check, and sometimes our 14 color automatic press is tied up for 45 minutes waiting on their artists to figure out how to correct the art that they sent us. That's not profitable. That's not Like what could we have done in that 45 minutes that wasn't sitting there waiting for them to give us an answer? I mean, I've got people scrubbing the floor waiting, and so shifting that from, saying, hey, we're going to charge you for this. Like if that's, I mean, we're happy to give you a press check, but it costs money. Or, we're happy to do this thing for you, but it costs money now. It wasn't in our price sheet, but we've added it. And so we kind of launched into that with some new pricing structures. And some of the people said, hey, we can't pay these prices that you're asking. And then we said, well, we're sorry, but this is how much it cost us to do what we're doing. So we have to do that. And some of them went away because we raised our prices. Some of them went away because we set a minimum that, it's in the groups all the time. You see it, someone says looking for a contract printer in this area to do a job in 3 days because so-and-so bailed on me. And then you get a long list of price lists in a Facebook group. And I don't want to do that. Like if someone comes to me and says, I want to be a contract printer, or I want you to be my contract printer, I want to broker jobs to you, I want to look at them and say, well, how many jobs are you going to broker to me? Because I don't really want to learn. I don't want to enter into a new superficial relationship because someone dropped the ball and I'm in the area that needs to solve this problem for you. Like I'm looking for a long-term relationship where we're going to print a lot of jobs for you, and we're both going to make money. And if that's not the kind of relationship you want to enter into, then maybe this isn't really a profitable. The one and done thing doesn't really work anymore. I mean, we've done enough of that we've tried to shift everything into a direction of, if you're going to broker jobs to us, you need to meet a minimum.